a woman who was on his staff back in 1993 is accusing him of sexual assault. Apparently, she went to deliver a gym bag to him.
Called me in and said, I want you to take this to Joe. He wants it. He wants you to bring it. Hurry. And I said, okay. And it was a gym bag. She said, take the gym bag. She called it athletic bag. And, she said he was down towards the Capitol and he'll meet you.
This is Tara Reid, who was, a staffer in on the Senate staff in 1993. And she grabs this gym bag that, I don't know, the manager, the campaign worker, somebody told her, somebody from the office said, take this to Joe. So she did, and here's what happened.
And so I went down, and I was heading down towards there, and he was at first talking to someone. I could see him at a different distance, and then they went away. And then we were in like the side. It was like the side area, and he just said, "Hey, come here, Tara." And then I handed him the thing, and he greeted me. He remembered my name. And then we were alone, and it was the strangest thing. There was no like exchange really. He just had me up against the wall, and I was wearing like a skirt and business skirt, but I wasn't wearing stockings. It was kind of a hot day that day, and I was wearing heels. And I remember my legs had been hurting from the marble, of the Capitol, like walking. And so I remember that kind of stuff. I remember like I was wearing a blouse, and he just had me up against the wall, and the wall was cold. And I remember it happened all at once. The gym bag, I don't know where it went. I handed it to him, it was gone. And then his hands were on me and underneath my clothes. And and then he went down my skirt, but then up inside it. And he penetrated me with his fingers, whatever. And he was kissing me at the same time, and he was saying something to me. He said several things, and I can't remember everything he said. I remember a couple of things. I remember him saying first, before, like as he was doing it, "Do you want to go somewhere else?" And then him saying to me, when I pulled away, he got finished doing what he was doing, and I kind of was pulled back, and he said, "Come on, man. I heard you liked me."
Tell me that doesn't sound like him. Come on, man. I mean, that's Joe Biden. That's Joe Biden to a T.
And that phrase stayed with me because I kept thinking what I might have said. And I can't remember exactly if he said I thought or if I heard, but it's like he implied like that I had done this. Like, I don't know. And for me, it was like everything shattered in that moment, because I knew like we were alone. It was over, right? He wasn't trying to do anything more, but I looked up to him. He was like my father's age. He was this champion of women's rights in my eyes. And I couldn't believe it was happening. It didn't seem, it seemed surreal. And I just felt sick because when he pulled back, he looked annoyed, and he said something else to me that I don't want to say.
She later does say, we'll get into that coming up here in a few minutes. Just amazing and heart-wrenching story about a guy who could be president of the United States. All right. We were talking about Biden before the break and some of the trouble he's run into. He's got a really serious accuser right now. Her name is Tara Reid, and not the actress, but a staffer on his Senate staff back in 1993. And, you think, well, okay, why did she wait 27 years to come out with this? She says that she delivered a gym bag to him. He took her into some out-of-the-way place at the gym in a stairwell or something, backed her up against a wall, and sexually assaulted her. And then she addresses what it was he said to her that at first she didn't even want to divulge.
And then he said, I must have looked shocked, and he grabbed me by the shoulders. I don't know how I looked, but I must have looked something, because he grabbed me by the shoulders and he said, "You're okay, you're fine, you're okay, you're fine." And then he walked away and he went on with his day. And what I remember next is being in the Russell building, like where the big windows are, and the stairs by myself. my body, I was shaking everywhere because it was cold all of a sudden, and I don't know, I felt like I was shaking just everywhere, and I was trying to grasp what had just happened.
Do you wanna share that thing that you said you don't like you said, like, I don't wanna say what he said, that thing he said to you?
Took his finger, he just like pointed at me and he said, "You're nothing to me."
Mm.
And then he just looked at me and he goes, "You're nothing, nothing." And then I must have reacted. And I think he only said it twice. I said, but I but I just heard the word nothing.
Mm.
And I must have reacted because that's when he took me by the shoulders and he said, you know, "You're okay, you're fine, you're okay." But then afterwards, like it kept replaying in my head.
That's a believable story. And kind of explains why she didn't come forward. She felt like nothing, felt like nobody would believe her, and he was a U.S. senator, and so she dare not take him on. So, really, really awful story.